All right, it's time to boogie. We got another week of NFL action. Week 14 in the books. Fucking awesome weekend. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I had a rough week last Sunday. It was like the first really rough week. So I settled in. I knew I had to get better. And I had a great weekend, only to be foisted by would have been undefeated if not for the stupid Eagles-Cowboys game. And then I did the classic. I started chasing. I'm like, oh, God, Philly plus 8.5. And yeah. So, your boy ended up finishing like plus $20 or something when it could have been.
There you go. But, that's all you can ask for after a long Sunday.
That's all you can really ask for. And you know what? Before we even get into any games, I was trying to sketch out the landscape of the NFL. And I decided I made a 1 through 32 list of who I think is in order of how much I like these teams right now. So going into next week, and I tiered them. And I want to get your thoughts. I want to hear if you have any objections or anything you would add to this. So this is how it's broken down into. So number 1 is the Niners. I have them in a tier unto themselves. And
this is how it's broken down. Niners at 1.
Yeah, Niners at 1. Nobody else in their fucking tier. Nobody in their neighborhood. And they're that. And that they are the favorites. It's fucking Super Bowl or bust. Just the Niners. Okay.
There you go.
The next tier is what I'm calling the super contenders. These are teams that could all very well win. They're basically, after the Niners, the teams you'd think would probably have the best shot of winning the Super Bowl after them. They are Dallas, Miami, and Baltimore. I have those 3 in a tier.
Okay.
Those are the super contenders. The next tier is just the contenders. That is Kansas City at 5, Philly at 6, Buffalo at 7. Now, Buffalo, they got to make the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs. They do have
to make the playoffs to contend.
But if they make it to the playoffs, they're contending. Other than I believe that after those 7, those are all the teams that can win the Super Bowl. I think.
At the 1, I would not have Buffalo in there personally. But if you did, I feel like you have to put the Jags in there if you're putting Buffalo in. Because I'm just being honest here. I don't think the Bills are much better than the Jags.
Well, I think about it from a Vegas perspective, though. The Bills
straight up
are right now laying 2 to the Cowboys, who Vegas loves. And you could say maybe they're basically saying they're even teams.
Which I think is ridiculous.
Which could be ridiculous. It could be a little ridiculous. I don't know. I still have questions about the Cowboys defense, and we'll get into that later. But anyway, there just is a world where the Bills, they play all of these good teams tough. They're 7 for a reason, but I think that they are included.
I like it.
Okay. Now, the next tier is 8, 9, and 10. And I called this tier, if everything breaks right, they could make a Final Four. So if everything breaks right, they could make a championship game. No soupy, but if everything breaks right, they can make a Final Four. In this tier, I have Detroit, who unfortunately, if you asked me last week, I would have still had them in the soupy contenders. They've now fallen out. They're now just in the Final Four breaks right category.
They look bad.
Okay, I've got Detroit 8. Here's kind of a surprising one. Number 9, I have the LA Rams.
Ooh.
I think if everything breaks, if everything breaks right, I think they could make a championship game. And then number 10 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the reason why they're a little bit lower is, well, their team is kind of decimated right now. Their tackles are all injured. Christian Kirk's injured. Trevor Lawrence like played like shit. Clearly still has an issue with the ankle. And if you're taking the mobility away from Trevor Lawrence, I mean, they need to win down the stretch. So I think this is probably about right. Then you see like that Ravens line. I think it opened 4.5. It's down to like 3.5, something like that on the road.
I like the idea because a lot of times a wild card team makes a run. Like the Steelers used to always do this in the Big Ben days. Like always a wild card team makes some crazy run, get hot at the right time, and it's like they almost like didn't want a bye week
Yeah.
because they like got like the Rams right now. Like they got hot towards the end of the season, and it's just like they need to play football games to continue the streak they're on and just like not think about the game too much and just go out and play. So I like the idea. The Lions is the perfect category for that because it's like if things fall their way, and like if they fall their way means just like if they come up with like a very timely stop, or even if it's like what happened in that Chiefs game a few weeks ago, not that it was against the Lions, but just like a huge fucking drop. Like
Yeah.
that's what the Lions will need to like advance in the playoffs, is like someone just shits their pants and
Some
like
fumble
drops the ball.
recoveries, like a pick six, all that kind of stuff.
Shit. Yeah. Stuff like that.
They've got the offense to get you there.
All exactly, right. But they just need someone to fuck up.
Yeah. So, and this is like the historical precedent is like the Titans making it. Jags with Bortles.
Yeah.
You could say, even though I wouldn't go this far, but like, you know, maybe the worst of those Niner teams that made it with like a really injured Jimmy G. That kind of shit. Okay. The next category is 11 through 14. These are can win a game in the playoffs, can win a single game in the playoffs. Yeah, just one. Okay, that is 11 Green Bay, who's playing tonight. 12, I have Denver, who just needs respect. By the way, again, we'll get into the games and stuff, but I think they're 5-point dogs to the Lions.
Crazy.
And I think that's a bit much. I think for some reason they were completely disrespected. Like it's not even an anti-Lions thing. It's like you got to respect this Denver team. Okay, so Denver's in there. They could win a game. Seattle, even though things are not looking great right now, they could still win a game. And Cleveland absolutely could win a game with Joe Flacco in that defense.
Okay, I thought this category was going to be a little bigger. Number one, my first thought is, I know you're going to hate this, but an NFC South team is going to have a home game. And to me, if you have a home game, you have a chance to win a game in the playoffs.
All right, so maybe this should be the chance to win 1 to 2 games.
Just like you, what was the category called again?
Can win a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think those teams, like, because the winner of that division gets a home game. So I think they could win a game in the playoffs. I know it's situational, but that is the situation that's going on.
The NFC South teams?
Yeah, because if you win your division, whoever wins that division gets a home game.
But you know who they're going to get?
Say NFC South team.
But you know who they're going to get in the first round? It's going to be either the Eagles or the Cowboys.
No.
I think so.
Right now, yeah. Right now it'd be the Eagles. It'd be Eagles at Bucks. That's rough. Oh.
Yeah. So for that reason, you'll see there is a tier that is almost entirely devoted to that division. Okay.
The other one I was gonna maybe do was you don't think that Cincinnati or Houston maybe could win a game in the playoffs?
Well, so here's the next category. You could talk me into one of these teams maybe moving up. I said these are average teams. So this is 15 through 19. These are average teams that could win a half in the playoffs. Put a scare into someone, but not win. And I have Indy, the Texans. Unfortunately, I dropped the Texans to this category just because they have too many injuries at this point. Like you can't have Nico Collins and Tank Dell injured and like Stroud's now like a little injured. It seems a little bit too much. Maybe they could win a half, but
That's a daunting task.
that's a daunting task. Next team I have at 17 is the Chicago Bears. Now they're not going to make the playoffs, but their defense is kind of elite. Low key. High key. And right after them, I have the Minnesota Vikings, who after this week, I don't feel good about them. But at the same time, their defense is also, they just have an elite D and Big Dick Mullins / Dobbs. So, they could put a scare into someone at half. And then the last team in this tier, I put Cincinnati, who is getting just a lot of respect from Vegas. I don't know if who are they playing next week?
Jake Browning, man.
Dog.
I thought it was going to be, I faded them because I thought he was going to do the classic quarterback move that everyone does this year where it's like they explode in one game and then they just fucking suck the next game. But he had like 115 passer rating again. I mean, he looks like a top 15 QB in this economy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because they're 3.5 point favorites versus the Vikings, which, I mean, so maybe I should move them.
The Vikings just scored 3 points.
That is true. True.
They have a problem at quarterback. And no matter how much we want to hype him up, dude, there seems to be some issues. Like Mullins came in and that's fine, but like I think you just have a better quarterback in Browning. Like I think that line's where it should be, like 3 at home versus the Vikings and Nick Mullins. I think I like that actually.
Yeah, geez. I'll put the I would probably move up the Cincinnati to 18, put Vikings at 19. Okay,
the thing about Cincinnati is that the one thing is like they just have they still have a lot of playmakers on offense.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to be, and this is what they're doing in the first game when he like exploded. Like what Zach Taylor did was like he just had to make like quick throws and just get it in Jamar's hand, get it in T. Higgins' hand, like get it in Boyd's hand, get like screen passes going to Mixon, just small stuff. And then he got comfortable. Then he threw that deep ball to Jamar. It's like it's a great coaching display. And then like now he's comfortable. And like we saw what we saw at Washington. Like the guy he's a talented guy, but it does take time in the NFL to get comfortable. Like, and now he is, but still he's going 21 for 25 because he's not making crazy throws and they're just getting the ball in their playmakers' hands. So it's like he wouldn't be necessarily the one beating you in the playoffs. It'd be Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Mixon, and their defense is good. So I think they could scare someone for sure.
And he looks comfortable. Obviously it's not a Purdy situation, but similar to Purdy, like just the guy's got like a huge pedigree, just being like a 3-year starter in high school and then going to Washington, playing in big games for 4 years. And then, he's been sitting around the NFL. Yeah, he's old.
Yeah.
His
I like him. Yeah. I think he'll be a starter next year.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Oh yeah. In this economy.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that brings us to the happy to be there double-digit dogs. So if any of these guys are in the playoffs, they're going to be just happy to get there and they're going to be double digit dogs. This is Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and the Falcons.
This is where we're off.
Okay.
Just because it's situational again, none of those teams are going to be double digit at home. What do you think the line is right now? Philly at Tampa.
Philly at Tampa is
8, 9, 10 is a lot to be laying on the road in a playoff environment.
I guess when I did this, I was thinking that it's going to be the Cowboys. I think the Eagles would probably be laying probably like 8.
So yeah, it does, yeah. And then Pittsburgh, you think going to be 10-point dogs?
Well, because they're not going to be, they're going to be away, and they're going to be
So
playing
they
like,
right now they'd be at Kansas City.
I think they'd be
Yeah.
double digit dogs this week. I'm just looking at this week with Mitch. What are they?
I
They're
agree. I just
they're-
I agree they should be dogs, like 10-point dogs, but I just for some reason Vegas just like always respects them more than that.
I know, this week is a real respect off between the Steelers and the Colts. I can't tell if they respect the Steelers or if they disrespect the Colts. Um, Also, I'm waiting for that line to get to 3 because then I really do want to bet the Steelers this week, just because like off 2 losses, like Cowherd's talking about like Mike Tomlin being done there. Like it's time for him to he's gonna rally the fuck out of the
Yeah.
truth.
It's time.
Okay, and then after that is this is 24 through 28 is might ruin your big favorite money line parlay. So these are teams that you think, oh, there's a possibility that they fuck me on like some huge spread against one of the good teams. These are Las Vegas, Arizona, the Jets, the Titans, and the commies.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then 29-30 is just good coaches, terrible teams. And that's the Patriots and the Giants. And then last is jail, and that is 31 the Chargers with Easton Stick and 32 the Carolina Panthers.
The Chargers are so bad.
Dude, the Raiders are are the Raiders on the road this week?
No, they're home.
Oh, they're home.
Still.
Easton.
That line makes no sense.
It makes no sense, Easton.
The amount, it's like they had the most respect in the Chargers of all time with a 3-point favorite against the Broncos, and now the least respect with 3-point dogs against the Raiders.
Dude, that is, I still can't get over that line.
Dude, I barely touched it because it was so sketchy.
I started getting sketched out about it because like all of the like national TV people out like were like giving out Denver also. And it's like, what?
That was crazy. Were they just trying to bait people into taking the Chargers?
I honestly do not know. I do not know.
Justin, did they respect Herbert as much as the media? Like, I didn't get that.
Dude, I heard of Bill Simmons had well, I mean, this is a wild take. This is a massive like recency bias, but he was like, if you're the Chargers, do you like maybe think about trading Herbert for like the number 1 pick in the draft? Because like then you would have a rookie salary and like Caleb Williams or something like that.
Dude, I mean, he was missing wide open guys again.
Why?
And everyone's like, oh God, if he had more weapons. It's like, dude, and then today, he's in a tough situation with the coach, man. Like, this is the worst coaching job in the league. It's like, no matter what the coaching job is, it doesn't affect your ability to hit a wide open receiver. That has nothing to do with the coach.
True.
And everyone protects him like he's a goddamn the second born of Jesus Christ, dude. The guy is just completely, if we're calling it spade for spade, like statistics wise and overall performance, he has completely like underplayed his value, what he is paid, and he has not performed up to expectations. That's just completely factual.
Yeah, I think you can actually for the first.
If we want to blame it on the coach, if we want to blame it on the weapons, like whatever it is, the guy has not performed. Like he's done the opposite of exceed expectations. He did that in his like first year, and then since then he's gone downhill. And he's not like the guy has not won games. The guy has, right now, since he came in the league, he has the worst record as a starting QB.
It's like 32-36 or something like that.
Worse.
It's
like, we're talking so highly of a guy that has a losing record as a quarterback. It's like average, like we want to say Purdy's so bad. Look at his record as a starting QB. And then we want to say Herbert's the next great. And he has a losing record. Like guys that are slightly above average can put together a winning record as a quarterback. And the guy's not very close to a winning record. And what's this no weapons thing? He had the most weapons a couple of years and still couldn't even get above 500 or make the playoffs in the AFC West, which is a shit division. Like, okay, take your 2 losses against the Chiefs. Like, that's fine. Like, this, you're not a winning quarterback in the NFL. And like every week I watch this guy, open receiver, slightly overthrown, slant, tip ball at the line. It's like, dude, you're 6'5". And like every ball at the line is getting tipped, and it's just nothing. He's all right. He's fine. Like, he just wait till the next coach. It's like, guy's in his 6th year. Like, we're running out of time here. I just don't
Wow.
know when the media is going to turn on him.
I mean,
It's
this
crazy.
is like his first year where you could say like, well, he was good at the beginning of the year, but I think as a whole, you can say like Herbert played bad this year. Like he played
Exactly.
poorly. You know what's going to be hilarious, and it's kind of scaring me because I was telling you before we started that I thought I was betting on this week's Raiders team, and I bet them plus 3.5, and I was like, oh, sick. Oh, I ended up clutching the Vikings game because they did the pooch punt, and it turns out I accidentally bet on the game versus the Chargers, so I got them plus 3.5. Now they're -3. I kind of feel like Easton Stick's going to just look pretty good. Like, and then it's going to be like a kind of a tough scene for Herbert.
I just don't know if, like, because the Raiders actually, for the first time ever, have played good defense this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much had to be just a combo of like them playing pretty good defense and then the Vikings just playing the worst offense ever. But it's hard to score 3 points. It's also hard not to score too. I'm not throwing that away. But we've been talking about the Vikings like a playoff team, and they just scored 3 points. Like, and I'll give him this. Like, the Raiders defense has actually been top 15 in the league this year. I'll give them that, but still 3 points. They didn't get in the red zone once in the game. Like, that's so bad. That's so bad. You should automatically, if you don't score a touchdown in a game, you should be canceled from making the playoffs. That should be a rule. Like, if you can't get in the end zone once, you shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Dude, like at what point is AOC also like,
he's awful?
Maybe we've seen enough from AOC.
But then it's just like, what do you do now? Like, Antonio Pierce,
Jimmy
Antonio
get injured.
His hopes and dreams of being a head coach are over.
Yeah.
You can't score no points. I don't care. It's just that's scoring no points is the sign that your team's an absolute dumpster fire.
Is Jacobs injured?
He's injured.
Dude, I don't like the Raiders this week. I don't like. I think that the Chargers.
It's an absolute crapshoot, but we have to analyze it because it's on Thursday night.
Yeah, I guess it's just a field goals game. I mean, Dicker is pretty electric, and so is Carlson.
Carlson at home is nails.
All right, yeah, that's gonna be fire. All right, well, I guess we can just talk. Maybe we don't have to go through every game. Just Cowboys, Eagles. Hand up. We kind of thought Philly would bounce back. I titled this episode, I said like DAK. Well, at first I was going to say DAK dicks down Philly's D, but then I just because of the alliteration, but I like the narrative that he got sloppy seconds on Eagles D. Like, Brock Purdy and the Niners like beat that ass up so much that then they rolled in there and they were just all gassed. And the Eagles D is a problem in terms of like them competing for a Super Bowl. I'm really not that worried.
Lions territory,
dude. It might be past Lions territory. Like, seriously.
No, yeah, it was like, I mean, it was kind of one of those games. What I was looking for, at least, because I like the Eagles there, was how is the first drive going to look for Dallas? And because you can really get the feel of a game there, because like, if you're like sitting there praying for like an incompletion almost, because it's like, I know, like, or just like basically like what I was saying earlier, like a fuck up, it's like, you're pretty screwed. Like if you,
Yeah.
I was praying for like DAK overthrows or like a batted ball at the line. Like that's when you know that where that game was going. And like the first drive, just right down the field. And the Eagles on offense just look like, it's just like they're walking through mud or something, dude. And the Cowboys, like, give them credit. They must practice this, but they put their hat on the ball every single play. Like they are trained to tackle to create turnovers. And we wanted to shit on them at the beginning of the year, and we've always shit on Diggs for this, for like you get picks and stuff. And you know, in today's NFL, it's just like it's such an offensive league. It's like you almost have to, you're gonna give up 20 points against good teams. And if you can make situational plays, you're gonna win games, especially on defense. And like that's what they do. They always create turnovers. And like look at last night, Philly fumbled twice in the red zone. Like that completely changes the game. And it was like that first drive Philly had. It's like Hurts fumble on the 20. It's like they always get those, dude. Then Gilmore strip and then Devontae Smith's fumble. It's like if you win the turnover battle in a big game, you're gonna win, and they always do. Like win that turnover battle, and then yeah, the Eagles D, like getting back to that, is an issue. Like the past their defensive line is terrible. And like if you have a good tackle to block Reddick, you're pretty set, I would say, because a corner is not going to step up. Like Debo said it, dude. Bradbury's trash.
He's
He
cheap.
actually is. He is. Like the Slay is good, dude. Like Slay made some good plays, but like Bradbury, people just go at that guy. And like if you slow down like Reddick, it's like what I mean, they lost. This is why I was confused with the Eagles at the beginning of the year winning all the games, because they lost like 7 starters on defense. So I was just like, how is this team still winning? Because like in the offseason, all you heard was like another guy gone, like this guy gone. Like I'm just like, and now you're still doing that good. So but yeah, it's Lions territory, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, it is annoying. I know I was accused of being an Eagles hater just because I was a Niners fan, but it's like how many weeks like do you know just throughout the year, like I felt like I either bet on them or bet against them, and it just always was like down to the last possible second. Like you can run through their schedule and every game was close. Like they almost lost to the Pats in week 1. And like the Commanders go up and down on the field on them. And it does seem like finally like the dams broke. However, I do think they're still going to get I don't know if they're going to get the 1 seed, but they're going to win the division still, just because the Cowboys have such a difficult schedule and they have super easy games down the stretch. So they'll probably get it right. I'm not really worried about their offense. Their offense kind of was driving on the Cowboys. It's just they had so many turnovers, and it's more like they just need to they need their offense to like play better in the first quarter, because I think the way their defense is set up is like their defense is cheeks, their pass defense is cheeks, but if they can at least get a lead, then their pass rushers can start teeing off. Because when
Yeah.
they're not even a part of the game, then it's just a joke.
Yeah. Someone said it pretty well. It's like they know they're not that good on D, so they just take a bunch of risks and like hope for a big player, like a pick.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just kind of how I play. And like you can start taking those risks when you're up, like you said.
Oh yeah. Shit. So yeah. Sorry, boys. Sorry, Eagles.
I'm
So yeah,
I mean, good for the Cowboys. Um, give credit where it's due. Like they came out and punched him in the mouth. But they have one big win this season. I'll play that side too.
absolutely
They have one
one,
big win. So I want to play
one.
that side too. They got smoked by the Niners. So did the Eagles, but like they have one win against the winning team.
Yep.
Like with the winning record. So, and I'm very happy they're playing good teams coming up, because you know, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, but you got some games coming up and we'll see who you really are. And I want to see you on the road, because you're not guaranteed a road or a home playoff game.
Yeah, they're like way worse on grass. They're like 19-1 or something like that on turf. I think
Like Buffalo's like the perfect, like,
oh my God.
I'm still not impressed with Buffalo after that game. I don't know what happened. Like, where's Diggs? The guy's just
Dude,
falling off
Gabe
the face of the
Davis,
earth.
nothing.
Well, when Gabe Davis is like played man defense, he just disappears because all he does is he's just a big target to find holes in his zone. But like, that is like the perfect like cold weather game, like tough environment that the Cowboys need to go play in. I wish the Bills were a little better, but still, like you're playing Josh Allen, so we'll see. I really hope that game to really impress me if you're the Cowboys, which not that they care, but go down in that game like 7-zip and play from behind and win on the road. I'd like to see that.
Or even if you're going to get up and like run the damn ball and win a game running the ball, like running. That's why I don't think that the Cowboys are confident in their running game.
They're just
Like,
pansy asses, dude. Like, what is Pollard gonna run in the cold weather?
oh, such pansies. I think the Bills also, we can talk about the Chiefs game, but the Bills, the Bills played like their B- game and still won, which is pretty.
I just haven't seen their A game though. Is
Uh,
that still out there?
the beginning of the year, the first half of the Philly game. I don't know.
I know. I mean, I'm waiting for it, but I'm also waiting for the Chiefs A game. It's like, are we even gonna get those ever?
I know. The Eagles. I still feel like we have not seen one game where the Eagles just gave it their A game on both
No,
sides.
but I think at the beginning of the year we definitely saw some. I don't know. We haven't seen the Chiefs A game. We've seen the Cowboys A game, and I just think that's a B plus.
I think the Chiefs A game might have been that Chargers game when they were like 5.5-point favorites and they just won pretty convincingly. But that was like week 7.
I just think of the Chiefs A game as like what they were with Tyreek.
Yeah.
But even what they were, they won a Super Bowl without Tyreek, right? And like that should have answered like all the questions, but like I just don't we haven't seen that. And we haven't seen the Bills, but it's just like that might just be who they are. And we might have to accept that. But even their best version though is still not an A. That's 100% factual.
I think that the Chiefs at this point, like if we're talking who am I more nervous about, their chances of winning a Super Bowl, I think I'm definitely more nervous about the Eagles just because their defense is a shiv. The Chiefs offense, I think that it looks bad that they're like whatever, they're faltering for the first time. And we're waiting for the offense to get turned on, but I think we just have to recalibrate and just think they're maybe the best defense in the AFC and they've got just enough offense and an awesome quarterback. Like that's just kind of what they are. And there's not really anything that much better than that. So
no, I mean, I guess we can talk. I don't know when we're going to talk about the Niners, but that's why I think the pressure is on for the Niners.
Oh, they have to clutch it this year. If they don't.
Thank God you like kind of agree with me there, man, because I don't. You probably know better than me when they have to extend Purdy, but
it's
like
not it's after next year.
It's just like I mean, the Chiefs before Mahomes is like now Mahomes is the biggest cap hit in the NFL.
Yeah.
And with Mahomes being the biggest cap hit in the NFL, you can't pay Tyreek. And then now you go to the draft for your receivers, and those are just hit or misses. You go out and get Tony, who the Giants said, fuck off, dude. Like, and look what he did last night.
Makes it even more frustrating that he helped them win that Super Bowl. Like he was awesome in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But like, so now you're relying on draft picks and going out and trading. And like, that's what they did with Tony. Like they always take like the misfits and like somehow like transform them, like Kareem Hunt. Like they always take these guys and like try to transform them. But like my point is they can't pay guys because Mahomes is the biggest cap hit in the NFL. And when he wasn't, they had, Tyreek. They had more players on defense. But now the Niners are what they were when they didn't pay Mahomes. You have these playmakers everywhere because the Niners can't pay McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Fred Warner, Trent Williams. Like you can't pay those guys without paying Purdy under $1 million. So it's like, dude, and they like this is West Coast bias aside here. They are by far the best team in the league.
I know.
And you guys have been waiting so long for this, and it is absolutely time this year. Like they need to get the 1 seed. They just need to win. It's to make it sound simple. Like, listen to this. You get the 1 seed. And then after that, at home right now, you would just need to beat. So say you guys get the 1 seed. Right
It
now, you
actually
get a
it
bye.
actually gets a little bit hairy.
You get a bye, and then you beat probably the like Lions and then Eagles, or Lions, Cowboys.
Yeah, what
I
would
just like either way at home, you guys are so much better. And like then after that, it's like it's gonna be the Ravens. Like it's 3 games, and it's the pressure. This, the pressure's on because you guys are able to pay everyone right now. And this is no knock. Like this whole Purdy thing, I have no knock against Purdy. He is statistically like number one in every category, and he is the number one EPA. Like, so all that, he has the most throws in the NFL, more than 10 yards. So all that goes out the window. But it's like I'll call a spade a spade. He does have the best like playmakers in the NFL. That's fine to say. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he still does. But you don't have all those if once he gets paid. And like it's just you guys are performing the best with the best roster. So it's like you guys have to win. Like I personally want it so bad for you guys because I would hate to see the fucking Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
oh my God.
That would suck for America.
Or
Like
Eagles, dude.
I would rather
Cowboys
have
would
the
be the
Eagles,
worst.
but because there's no way anyone but the Eagles, Cowboys, or Niners make it out of the NFC. But then the AFC, it's just like who's good? Like I would just like to see someone in the AFC that's just kind of sneaky. Like I would just like to see like the Dolphins get so hot. Like Dolphins Niners Super Bowl would be great. Like the amount of star power there would just be like in Baltimore would be fine. I would like to see maybe Lamar like finally make a run. I just don't want to see the Chiefs in it again. But again, like who besides the Chiefs, Dolphins, and Ravens have a chance? Like the Jags with the beat up Lawrence, no way. Then after that, it's like Browns, Steelers, and Colts. So
Bills,
like
maybe, if they
I would
clutch it.
just I would just love I would just love to see the Finns like Niners Super Bowl. I would take Ravens, but just don't. The Eagles would be frustrating just because I feel like they've had their goddamn chance and I'm over them. And after watching last night, I'm a little sick of that because I hate the Cowboys, and you take the Cowboys from here to here of like what people think of them, and I'm just like I don't give a fuck about the Cowboys, and they just propelled them to arguably the best team in the NFC. My ass, whatever. But I will see. I just like again the Niners. This is their year for so many goddamn reasons, and I think they'll clutch it. But it's like the pressure's on. It's like almost like you're not like chasing a Super Bowl. It's like you need to win this year because you're so fucking good.
I know it's rough because like I've had like a lot of years where I actually like left the season even though the Niners didn't win the Super Bowl, and I was like I still think the Niners were the best team. Like in 2012, I think they were the best team when they lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl, the Flacco year. There was a couple years where like when they lost to the Seahawks in the championship game, I was like the Niners. It was either the Niners or the Seahawks were the best team, and then the Seahawks like went and just absolutely destroyed the Broncos. And then obviously 2019, I still think they were better than the Chiefs that year. That was fucked up. They got up too. It's really scary. I'm a little worried about the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, is there a world where? But I kind of told myself this. I think it's just
so like worst case scenario though. Like they are as good as the media makes them out to be. You guys are still better.
I agree. It's just like one of those things like the Rams year when the Niners have beat the Rams like a zillion times in a row and then the Rams somehow clutched it. I just like can't handle something like that with the
I mean, either way, I
Cowboys.
wouldn't be able to handle them not winning or making the Super Bowl.
I feel like if the Niners win the Super Bowl, it's almost like the least teams will be pissed off because it's kind of everyone kind of knows that they're the best team and they're kind of due as fuck. Like they're absolutely due.
They've been absolutely lingering for 8 years.
They've been lingering for 8 years. And also, dude, it would be really tragic if like Shanahan like ended up leaving kind of the way like Andy Reid left Philly. Like he's got to just stay in San Francisco.
That'd be so sad.
Yeah, they absolutely have to win. I mean, there's a very real world this year where Brock Purdy wins the MVP and the 49ers win the Super Bowl, which would be like
real.
It's like likely even. I mean, that's like the
Yeah.
Vegas odds would suggest that probably is going to happen.
Dude,
It's demons.
crazy. It's crazy.
Demons.
It's the what 3 weeks changes with Purdy is wild. Like he was, oh, like after that one loss, it's just like, oh, he's not as good as people thought. And then all of a sudden after that Eagles game, it's like, boom, like he's back. The Niners are massive favorites. The Cowboys win last night maybe just scares people, but I don't know, dude. You guys boat raced them. Like that was the most embarrassing game for them. And I don't care if it's on the road. Like you guys absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
And
Like the Cowboys will choke. Dak will figure out a way to choke if it's close. And the Niners aren't going to get blown out by the Cowboys.
again, they have one win against a team with a winning record, and that was last night. So I mean,
also, they seem like a team with like a
because
faulty sort of like it's like, for example, they have that Niners loss. And then it's like they have to like build up their confidence because their confidence is so fragile. And it's like they got this cupcake schedule to build up everyone's confidence and build up Dak's confidence and build up Skip Bayless's confidence. And then it's like you're confident. Then all of a sudden they see that the Eagles can be destroyed by the Niners. And then they just come into that game with full confidence, all ready to go. If they lose to the Bills or like maybe drop a game to the Bills and the Dolphins, something like that, like their whole thing, everything could be shattered again. And it's all of a sudden there's no chance they're doing it.
They're the biggest team because everything about them is based off the public's perception of them. And it's like right now, it's like everyone's saying, oh my God, like, and it's just that game was just the more it was like coming up to the game, the more I watched the game, it was just set up for them to win. And like the Eagles just coming, I fully am on the train. If we're back in the Eagles, like that 5-game streak was so hard. And like by the end, you are beat the fuck up. So they did catch them at the end of that at home, and they haven't played anyone. But it's all it's going to take. They're so easily rattled. Like that team
so
is
easily rattled.
If he goes into Buffalo and just gets shaken up, he might never be the same.
He might never. Yeah, it's very possible he's never the same. Also,
all it takes is 2 first-half picks. Like the why I don't think he's a great quarterback is the biggest thing with quarterbacks is being able to bounce back from adversity, and that guy has not faced adversity. And to his credit, he has gone up in games, but he has not like faced serious adversity on the road. And when he does that, he tends to crumble. So I want to see him in a tough spot what Hurts has done all year is like come back in the fourth quarter. Hurts has 148 passer rating in the fourth quarter. It's like, can Dak face some adversity and go down and come back and win a game? I haven't seen it yet.
That's why I'm still more scared of Philly, because I mean, it's like you have an entire season to like see all these different situations, and like the Cowboys just haven't had any of those situations. I guess they're going to have a couple coming up. They had a situation in the Eagles game, I guess, and Dak stepped out of bounds. But yeah, dude, this would be 4 if the Niners just make it to the NFC Championship game. That would be 4 out of the last 5 years making it to the NFC Championship game, and the only 1 year they didn't is when Jimmy G got just out for the year in 2020.
More goddamn injuries. This season of injuries needs to stop, dude.
It needs to stop.
It's not like Herbert. I'm not rooting for injuries or anything, but like they have losing records, so it's not like a huge deal. But still, dude, god damn, it's so bad. It won't stop. It won't stop. And it's honestly a lot of these injuries, thankfully, this year on the quarterback haven't been like based on like a lot of the rules they've made of like not hitting the quarterback and shit. But honestly, everyone after this year should completely be pro those rules, because if you want to see this again, you don't want to see this again. So like any rule to protect the quarterback, like the late hits, like all that shit, that's totally fine to me, just to avoid like the nightmare we've seen this year.
Okay, wait. Pitchforks Dragon said, I'm willing to bet the Eagles lose to the Seahawks. The Seahawks played the 49ers twice and Cowboys once, better than the Eagles played either team. You know what? That is something we haven't spoken on, because the Seahawks feel dead because they've lost 4 in a row. But the truth is they did play they did well. The Niners absolutely wiped the floor with them on Thanksgiving, but they played Dallas really tough and easily could have won that game. And they actually impressed me. I would say they impressed me just in this Niners game. You know, they had Drew Lock rolling in there. Their top two corners got injured, and they still were frisky. It's kind of like they're probably not going to make the playoffs if they lose this Eagles game. Like, as much as the Eagles want to bounce back, so they have to go all the way across country to Seattle. I don't know.
Not ideal.
I mean, with those weapons in Seattle, like, and their passing defense is just so ass.
It's probably going to be a shootout. With how bad that is, they can get Gino's confidence rolling pretty quickly.
Wait, what's the over-under in that game? Because 47.5.
Also, again, I've said this before, Seattle is one of the toughest places to play on a Monday night, like backs against the wall, because if you lose this, you go 6-8 and your season's over. So, I mean, Philly's only -3.5. I think that's a little much. It's a little much.
Let's see. The Eagles defense is it's just such trash.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. It's not only trash, it's a problem. It's becoming a huge problem for them.
I also think the Cowboys defense is pretty overrated. And while I'm at it, I'm not maybe going to go this far. The Niners defense, even though it's like the top defense, I think just defense is just different now. Like, there's no really being the best defense and then just being the best defense every week. Like, the Niners defense can still be had, but
again, it's like if you limit your team to under 25, that's the kind of the goal of the defense this day and age in the NFL. 'Cause it's an offensive league. Or like the Cowboys are doing, which I give them credit, is to force turnovers. Because if you win the turnover battle, you're going to win a big game. And the Cowboys, as many yards as they give up, as many points as they give up, the timely turnovers they have just destroy teams. Like, they're just taught to just put their helmet right on the ball, and it works. Like, again, Hurts fumble, Smith fumble, and then that Gilmore, that strip on AJ Brown was an all-pro play. Like,
bro, what happened to AJ Brown? Like, the Phillies offense, it's still been good. Obviously, they're starting super slow, but like, what happened to AJ Brown? Like, that guy was on like a Tyreek-esque tear. I guess it's almost like his powers were stolen and given to CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Don Reddy said Cowboys defense had easy schedule first half, and they've been overhyped due to pick sixes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I said it earlier. They have one win against a team with a winning record. Like, show me you can go on the road and fucking do something. Like, I'd love to see, like, I wish Buffalo was a little bit better, because I'm still like, if they go in and beat Buffalo, I'm not going to be like super impressed, because Buffalo is like 3/4 of what they were like peak, like 2 years ago. Like, the peak Buffalo I think of is that insane game 2 years ago.
It's just the 13. It's just the 13-second game. It broke their entire franchise.
Yeah. Like, but still, it's going to be a tough environment to play in. I just want to see Dak come back back against the wall. And I just like, they're going to have to run the ball in that game. And like, what are you going to run Tony Pollard up the middle 15 times? I don't think so. And the Bills are just hungry for blood, dude. Like,
hungry. The Bills fans in this game?
Oh, I would love to go to that game, dude. That's going to be, I wish that was the night game.
Oh, I wonder if it's a snow game.
There's always a chance. I wish it is going to be, it's a 4:25 start in Buffalo. So like, that's pretty much a night game. I mean, it's going to be, this is what I kind of want to, because it's like, can the Cowboys play a physical ass game?
I want to see them. I want to see Tony Pollard like actually have like 100 yards rushing. I want to see Mike McCarthy give it to him like 25 times.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, but there are some games where you have to do that. So we'll see. But I don't know. How's their defense? Dude, I've been saying this all year. Miami, they have a top 15 defense in the NFL. And
with room to keep improving, especially now.
On PFF, their defense is ranked 7. That's why we've been kind of shocked with Miami recently, because it's like they're putting up a shitload of points, but their defense, again, it's like in the NFL, it's like if you just slow teams down, and their defense, they lost that one DN, like number 15, I forget his name, but they seem to be for sure a top 15 defense. I don't know. God, the Titans are a nightmare.
He said opponents averaging 14 points a game since Ramsey back, but Henry has historically turned it up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, because no one wants to
Unfortunately,
tackle that guy.
exactly, except for it's in Miami. I
Yeah.
don't know. Miami's a pretty awesome home team also. I
I
don't
think
know.
that's
I
gonna
don't
be a
think we're
fun
getting
game.
it's going to be a fun game. We're not getting Tractor Cedo season this year. It's just not happening. The
I mean,
Titans
his
lost their
yards
juice.
tonight seem crazy. It's at like 55 or something.
Mm, maybe a
And I don't
Tajay
even love it
Spears game.
because they're gonna get down pretty quick, so they're gonna have to throw the ball.
Dude, that
This screams a 3-pick game for Levis.
I could see Levis really shitting it.
That guy is
Wait, dude,
not good.
we should look into the Tajay Spears props because if they do get down big like we think, they keep him in those type of situations and they don't put in Henry. Ooh, that's sneaky. Well, maybe I'll. Well, the game starts in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. I need to see
I like
Tajay
Barkley
Spears.
props tonight. Let's do that.
All right, I'm in. Dude, that is so absurd. 123 yards.
That's wild.
Over.
I think that goes under.
Okay, Tajay Spears, alt receiving yards.
Titans are terrible.
They
Like
are.
they're just straight up a bad football team. What's their motivation in this game? Number one,
dude, that's the thing. We were talking about this a little bit last week. At what point do you, if you're Vrabel, like, do you try and get out? Because they had their run, and
they're nightmare.
it's not like they had a Super Bowl run, but they had their like cool little like those Titans teams are like teams I'll probably remember for the next 20 years. You know, they had Derrick Henry in his prime, Tannehill second half of his career, sort of revival situation,
AJ
and
Brown.
just being smart, and AJ Brown. It was all good vibes, but now you have no quarterback. It's Will Levis or
3 quarterbacks is what you've done.
Yeah. And as much as I hate to give Cowherd his like props, he's been like hammering this like defensive coaches thing.
I know.
And if you look around the league, it is like the offensive coaches are the ones that are all doing damage. And if you're Detroit, you should probably be a little bit scared. Like if they lose Ben Johnson.
Well, the crazy thing last year that he pointed out was 13 out of the 14 NFL teams were it was like the top 14 offenses all made the playoffs besides one, and the one team that did not make it last year. So the 13 out of 14, the one that didn't make it was the Lions, who were 1 game out. It's like, you don't have an offense, you're screwed. And like they whiffed on Willis, like, and Levis is and it's like they knew Tannehill was on his way out, but like, and I'm so tired of this narrative like Vrabel's gonna get his boys ready to play. It's like, what do you mean get his boys ready to play? Like, just because his comment of just saying like he would cut off his dick for a Super Bowl victory, it's like that can only go so goddamn far.
Oh, I already forgot about that. Don Reddy's hilarious. He said Vrabel was courting hookers and hammered doing push-ups during Combine Week at Indy. Legend. I know. I love the reports during the week that it's like, oh, Vrabel put on the pads this week. He was working out with the boys. Middle of room, high-end steakhouse. Oh, he's saying he was there?
Yeah, that's where he did that.
Very cool.
It's an inside source.
He's an inside source. Does this mean Tractor Cedo's going over?
Yeah.
I just don't know who fucks us tonight.
I think
Green Bay is ripe to fuck us. Like now that we finally bought in on Jordan Love after so much pushback.
That's what I'm saying. I hate that I'm on the Giants. It's so tragic.
But also you could be a half quarter. You could be a half quarter in and be like, wow, I really took Tommy DeVito.
I know, dude.
What was I thinking?
This is the first time I've done it in 8 weeks. And the last time I did it, it was still Daniel Jones, but it's still just the idea of the Giants for me. I did it against the Finns, and they just had that one like huge pick six. But it was just, I was sitting there in the third quarter. I was like, you're looking at a guy who took the Giants. And it's like, I'm going to do that again tonight. Like, I think the Packers are getting hot at the right time. Like LaFleur has this figured out. He's doing the thing where he finally got Jordan Love like a little bit comfortable, and now he's like opening it up. And all it takes for a young quarterback is like that last game, he had that deep ball to Watson right away. It's like his confidence goes through the roof, and the guy's like actually seeing the field. It's crazy.
Oh, wait. You know
Like
what? Since we don't have that much time, should we bet? I forgot. He said Saquon is due, and that reminds me. Green
the
Bay,
Guru has that.
really? Okay, because Green Bay gives up a shit ton to running backs. The more that I
Yeah,
think about it.
The Guru has
Rich Homie Quan. How many yards does he have him running for?
the Guru has him at shit.
I wouldn't dare bet an interception.
He has him at 92 scrimmage yards.
Oh, that doesn't help me though. I
He's
need to
at
know
like
if I should.
85.
Well, scrimmage though. I can't bet scrimmage. I can only bet rushing.
Okay, well he's at like, oh
All right,
god, his rush is 70 and his like rush and receiving is 94. That's high.
dude, my rushing yards is 82.
I have 70.
What?
I'm on the over.
All right. Yeah, you should hit it.
I like a Mostert touchdown.
Mm.
I feel like Achan's got in every single game.
How about New York Giants though? Under 15.5 team total. like realistically, realistically, they're not scoring 2 touchdowns.
No, they're not. They're not. I'm doing that.
All right, I'm doing it too.
Team total
under 15.
Under 15.5. There's no way. What have DeVito's games been like? Let me look.
Well, he's coming off like historically.
Is there a double box for these games?
We're gonna need one. Yeah, it'd be sick if like the Manning cast did some sort of like
beautiful thing. That's beautiful.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, look at that double box. Let's go. That's all I can ask for on a Monday. Cure my fucking scaries. I kind of honestly, I like Henry rush yards over 56. That seems a little too low.
He just has to break one. Too low recency bias. Recent games are weighted higher in models. I mean, just the thing that scares me with Saquon is like, how much is Green Bay honestly going to respect Tommy DeVito? Like, aren't they just going to be running against an 8-man box?
Is Alexander in?
I don't know.
Because that guy's due.
You know what? Quickly, let's talk a little MVP. I'm actually okay. Like, I'll accept that you can put Dak slightly ahead of Purdy right now because I know Dak's gonna blow one of these upcoming games. But like, at this point for you, like, does it feel like Lamar is still in the race?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I think there's value on Lamar maybe because also the Ravens play the Niners on Christmas.
That's why I texted you that today. I was like, this MVP race is finally like heating up because like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were like, no one deserves this award. We were at that phase because like everyone just kept fucking up. And then Dak started getting some steam and then Purdy's winning Philadelphia. All of a sudden he's there. And Lamar is just like, here's the thing. The Ravens are 9-3. And my thought today was exactly what you said, which is like, if they go in and beat the Niners, I think he might win it.
Dude, and
because if you're number one, and did you see his stats this week?
His stats were good. He didn't play the best.
I didn't realize he had 300 yards. That was a quiet 300, but still, and he had like 70 rushing yards or something. I just think if you're just clearly the best team in the AFC, and if you beat the Niners, like that is a pinnacle of success right now in the NFL. And also, that's in San Francisco too, right?
Also, they have kind of like a fixed fight Sunday Night Football. You know, Sunday Night Football, everyone's going to be watching, and they're going to be playing the Jaguars, who are theoretically one of the other like 1-seed contenders, but really it's Trevor Lawrence in a walking boot. Yeah, it's a complete fixed fight. So, like Lamar, there's a very good chance that Lamar just balls out in that game, and then after that game drops to like 3-1, 4-1 ahead of the Niners matchup, and then if they beat the Niners, I mean.
No, that's what I'm saying. If he beats the Niners, then I think he wins it for sure. And like, that's contingent on what like beating the shitty teams, but the Ravens have proven to do that all year. So that right there to me is game of the year. Like, not even close. Like,
Niners Ravens.
What makes it so like attractive for me is that game never happens. So it's like these Cowboys and Eagles games are huge, but it's like we get that every single year, twice a year. It's like Ravens going to San Francisco, and with that, they'll both be the number one teams in like their respective divisions. So that game, and I just feel as good as the Niners are, I think right now Baltimore is a harder place to play, especially this time of year, like in December. So I think it makes like the most closest to a neutral field that there could possibly be. So when is that game?
That's on Christmas Day.
So I like, do you think it's fair to say, well, this is assuming this Cowboys gauntlet that's coming up, let's say they win at best 3 out of 4. Is that just a winner of that game gets the MVP? Might be. Winner of Ravens Niners gets the MVP, maybe.
Yeah, really good chance.
Unless the Cowboys like win out.
Or like maybe Brock wins it but doesn't play the best game, and like at the end of the year we all decide collectively, you know what? Dolphins are the 1 seed. Let's give it to Tyreek Hill.
I'm rooting for that. But it just there's no steam on it. If tonight he goes for like 200, then maybe all of a sudden, because again, I think we've said this throughout the year, all it takes is a massive game on primetime or like that 1 o'clock slot or 4:25 for some people, like a huge game in one of those slots to just explode in the media when there's just not many games going on. Like it is tough because they're playing the Titans, but still, dude, to me, Tyreek is the most valuable player to a team. You take him off that team, I think they borderline losing record or like 500.
I mean, I mean, certainly Tua is not a Pro Bowler.
No one's ever gotten 2,000 yards, and he might do that too.
Is that true? No one's gotten to, and you know what? And they're probably going to want to get it to him in like 17 games too. Don Reddy brings up a good topic though. Coach of the Year, Peyton Steichen. So I'm looking at the Coach of the Year markets because, again, this is one of those things where it can flip like every week, so you can really take advantage. What I'm seeing right now is that Mike McDaniel is the favorite to win Coach of the Year. Last week it was Dan Campbell. All right, I'm going to keep going down this. Then it's DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco's probably not going to get it now. If the Texans kind of flail out and Stroud can't play this week, and like they've lost Nico Collins and they've lost Tank Dell. That's just, I think that's too much attrition. All right. So then we're going to keep going down. Then we have Dan Campbell. Unfortunately for Dan Campbell, he would probably win it if this season, like if the Lions schedule was like in reverse and they like finished the season beating the Chiefs and winning all those games in a row. But I do feel like the shine's coming off him. Now we get down to some juicy odds. 8-1 on Shane Steichen, who Don Reddy threw out. I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, they have a backup quarterback. They have no business being in the playoffs, but still, I feel like it's not sexy enough to actually win.
And then the Broncos here's the thing:
because he's 15-1 right now.
Win that division, he gets it. I think that should just be an unwritten rule.
Oh well, definitely. They're not going to though. I don't think they have the tiebreaker.
I'd pump the brakes on that. But either way, dude, no one's ever made the playoffs starting 1-5. So that's a start. Sean Payton they gave up 70 points in a football game. Sean Payton, they were the laughing stock of the NFL for like 3 or 4 weeks. And he's literally transformed an offense to make Russell not make mistakes, become this all of a sudden efficient QB, and completely turn the team around. Like we were literally talking them in week 4, like, okay, trade Judy, trade Surtain. Like what value can you get for these guys? And all of a sudden, like I don't know. I think they're going to make the playoffs, so I'm not worried about that with that pick. But I think he's the most deserving right now. I think it goes him, then DeMeco, and then McDaniel.
Okay, so there is like a lot of value down here though, because Stefanski is at 16-1, Shanahan 14-1. Okay, then we get into Sean Payton 16-1. Obviously, that's like, how is that even out there? Like, is that not updated? I don't. It says that on DraftKings. I'm looking at it right now. Matt LaFleur 18-1. That's kind of sneaky. He's kind of sneakily been good if the Packers like finish on a roll. John Harbaugh, 25-1. No chance. Zach Taylor.
You're getting too far now.
Nah, we're getting too far. No, but there's a name that I want to get to down here, and it's not Mike McCarthy. It's not Nick Sirianni. It's not Kevin O'Connell. It's Sean McVay at 50-1.
If they make the playoffs,
dude, if they make the playoffs, I mean, even if just okay,
that win this week would have been huge.
And also, if anybody has anything, if any team has anything to complain about, it's not Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's the Rams. Like I saw like 3 or 4 different holds on that return. I was just waiting for the laundry to come out the whole time, and it just never did.
Yeah, there was 3 illegal blocks on the sideline right there.
And if the Rams win that game, like what is McVay, like 15-1? I mean, I seriously think I have them down in the teams that I think if everything breaks right for them, they could make a championship game. Like,
yeah. I mean, they have maybe the best like 1-2 punch at receiver. Like they're up there for sure. They're top 5.
I got to look at the Rams rest of season schedule because they do play the Niners.
I want them to make the playoffs just because they're so competitive.
Dude, I don't think I'd want to see them as a Niners fan. I mean, they play the Commies at home. They play the Giants on the road. They play the shitty ass Saints at home on a Thursday night. And then they play the Niners in Santa Clara last game of the season. That could mean nothing. There's a chance that means nothing.
Yeah.
McVay, he's saying McVay won 2018 already. I know, but it's just such a different, it's like such a different situation. I mean, it's pretty insane that like I know it does seem like a long. And what is he like?
This
36?
Is a team that we completely wrote off.
Oh yeah, people picked them. Like there was like a clip at the beginning of the season, like one of the Rams reporters brought up that like their over under was 6.5 wins, and like McVay made a face like that indicated like I mean, that might be a little high. And it's like all of a sudden it's like Kyron. He almost left. Kyron Williams and Puka are insane. Yeah, he almost left for Amazon. Stafford's been, they missed a Brett. Oh, that was the other thing is like, I was looking back at the Cowboys schedule. I was like, I guess in hindsight, the Rams win was pretty good, but that was with Brett Rippon. Doesn't count.
I mean, the guy literally took Baker Mayfield off the streets and like won that game on Thursday Night Football last year. I think
the fact that they ran the ball on the Ravens on the road, no NFC team ever hangs with the Ravens ever.
No,
they were running the ball. Like I have questions about the Ravens defense low key. Like they get a lot of love in the media.
Smith was making every single play.
Yeah.
Like I saw his hat on the football every single play.
And Kyle Hamilton, I guess, got injured, but
and Humphreys is getting burnt, dude. That guy was like a top.
Oh my god, yeah.
That guy's like a top 5 corner the first half of the year, and all of a sudden that guy's just burnt toast, dude.
It was so frustrating. I like would cardinal sin. I teased the Ravens down in like all these different teasers, and so I was just sweating it out, and it felt helpless. Like Stafford was doing whatever he wanted. Yeah, the Ravens DC, like for some reason he's like the Justin Herbert of defensive coordinators. Like all of the like film bros and all that shit. Like they all just like. Yeah, they all just blow him nonstop at McDonald or something. And I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily love that defense. The fact that the Rams are running the ball on you in Baltimore scares me.
Yeah, you can't stop that zone blocking fucking run scheme.
I know.
I mean, not many people have been able to, which is crazy. And I don't know if we give it like credit to McVay and just the offensive line, but Kyron Williams has looked phenomenal. Like that guy. I don't know. Either way, I want the Rams in the playoffs. So, like, there are teams on the fringe. Like I sent you yesterday, the AFC is crazy, dude. There's like 6 teams that are 7-6, but there are certain teams you want in the playoffs and don't.
Dude, like the whole league is like 6 or 7 wins.
The reason I say that though is like, I don't like, for example, I don't want the Steelers in the playoffs. So these are 7-6 teams in the AFC: Steelers, Colts, Texans, Broncos, Bengals, and Bills. Those are all 7-6. So there's 6 teams fighting for 2 spots. I don't want Pittsburgh in. The Colts are such a good story. Like, I'll take them right now. But I don't want the Steelers, and I don't want the Browns in either. I don't want the Browns.
Okay, come on, Flacco. Flacco looks fire, bro. Like that, he looks comfortable as fuck. Like I don't even remember the last time Flacco looked this good. Like 20, like 2016? I
Does
don't
he
even
look
know.
good, or does he look good this year in this economy?
You know what? The problem is he said he likes Sirianni, even though he thinks he's a prick. I don't think I don't think there's any chance Sirianni gets it just because they don't have any tough games left. Like
Yeah.
he's not gonna be able to rally the troops. Joe Flacco kind of looks like the guy on the right. Is that I don't I guess this isn't mirrored, so that's you, Cass. Oh, little Flacco. I could see it.
Flacco.
It is a truly like a bizarre thing. He's like is absolutely elite in this quarterback economy we're in. You know,
How
you were
many
talking about the
teams
six.
passed on him?
I know the Jets had him in the building last year. I think it's also like it just goes to show that like Deshaun Watson like really must suck right now because the Browns offensive line is awesome.
Dude, it's I this quarterback draft class is all time, depending on who stays and who comes back. But since we've lost the era, like the GOAT era, which is us growing up essentially and us becoming huge football fans, which was Brady, Breeze, Big Ben, Flacco, like just Peyton, just that whole era. Peyton like went
Rivers.
out before, like even Rivers, dude. Rivers gave you at least consistency. Like you knew what you're getting out of Rivers, like which was at that time it wasn't 8-7, it was like 8-6, like lose first round of the playoffs. But at least he was like he was good. Now it's like those guys left and no one's stepping up. It's like Flacco has to come in and save the fucking day from that era because everyone is so goddamn bad right now. Like we had to go back, jump back in that era and get Flacco in order to have a serviceable quarterback for a team that was 4 games above 500. Like every option in the NFL was so bad they went and got Flacco. It's wild, and it's like we have Josh Allen and Mahomes and Lamar, but besides that, it's like Tua's kind of come onto the scene like recently, but it's there's like Herbert's fucking trash. I hate Herbert. He's not good. Like Dak is so inconsistent. Like the over, even if we want to talk like the overall quarterbacks right now suck because of injury, but like even at the top, like how good are these guys? There's not many quarterbacks I've seen like a ton of consistency out of that I could like even like who's the face of the NFL right now? Like the NBA's have
I mean, it's Mahomes.
okay, but like I guess that was the wrong way to say it, but like
Yeah.
like top like 4, there's no one like there's no like locks in there right now like there used to be. Like as I said with those 5 quarterbacks, it's like these are the NFL guys. Like right now I don't have that.
If you
And
were to
the
do
NBA
like
is
a
having
Mount,
the same problem. The NBA is having the
yeah,
same problem.
where they got the old
Like
ones.
it's like LeBron and Curry are holding down the NBA. It's like no one wants to step up and not be like a fake gangster in the NBA. But like I just don't see consistency. And it's like everyone wants to tell me Lawrence and Herbert are the new like second coming guys. And it's like I'm not seeing that from them. I'm seeing just an overhyped tall quarterback that is not not consistent like with accuracy or like throwing the ball down the field. And no one wants to like I'd rather have two, I'd rather have Purdy. Like Dak looks great this year, but I just the quarterbacks the media are bringing to me are completely underachieving. Like
Yeah,
Lawrence top 5 QB argument is a joke.
yeah,
And
that
that's all I heard this offseason.
Yeah, I hate that. I mean, it's Mahomes, it's Allen, it's Joe Burrow when he's healthy. It's I guess after okay, I feel like those are like the big 3. Then there's like a drop off, and then it's like Lamar. I would still throw Herbert in there. Like Lamar, Herbert, Hurts. And then kind of like Dak and Purdy. I guess that's it.
Oh,
and staph infection.
I like staph infection.
Call out.
That's been a theme all year. There's no stopping.
Oh, it's a theme all year.
We tried. That's why we put the Mike McDaniel icon on one of the things. But Zen was not a success. Kind of just put my stomach in a blender.
Oh. Dude, what about bowl games this weekend? Do you have anything you're really liking? Any good early lines?
I love them all.
You love them all.
Yeah. Dude, Saturday, I texted you this. Saturday is a gambler's paradise, dude. Listen to this. We have 6 bowl games starting from 8 a.m. That the last one's at 6:15 p.m. And then the NFL games Saturday are so good. It's Vikings, Bengals, Steelers, Colts, Broncos, Lions, all potential or playoff teams.
Yeah, this
Like,
is like a
two of those
don't get
games are
divorced Saturday.
you literally get divorced
Yeah,
because
maybe get
2 of those
divorced
games are
before the Saturday.
yeah. Dude, this is how you test like if a girl is real or not. Like this is a Saturday you need to sit on your ass because it's the NFL games are 10 a.m., 1:30, and 5:15. First bowl games at 8 a.m. College basketball is on. Like, come on. And the NFL games, 2 of them are 7-6 matchups, and then the night is Broncos 7-6 versus Lions 9-4. Like, it's just simply must watch TV. It's come on. It's like holiday season, like work's kind of starting to fizzle out. Like this is a Saturday that's like because this is peak time for sports. It's like NFL about to be playoffs, NBA's on, college basketball. You can throw some puck in there if you want to. Like this is
Dude,
it doesn't get much better than
I have
this.
so much FOMO for not betting on Long Beach State, but I got lost in the sauce of it being an NFL Sunday.
That's all right. You didn't have the balls.
I didn't have the balls. Okay, what about Texas Tech versus Cal? Why is the line moving towards Cal? Is Morton not quarterbacking or something?
Cal had kind of a good end of the year.
They're frisky, but
their run game's really good, and Texas Tech's defense is just completely spotty. I still like Texas Tech though, because that game's in like Georgia or something. Like Cal got absolutely fucked.
Sorry, boys.
Like,
do you
usually
have
you get a
any
game pretty close?
Do you have any feel on like Texas
that game's in
-4?
Louisiana. What?
Texas -4 or Bama +1 right now. I still think it's going to get to Michigan -1. I mean Bama -1.
I love Michigan.
You love Michigan? Isn't it as simple as like Michigan, the way they're like their advantage on everyone they play is that they are just super big and physical in the trenches and shit. Except for like there's like 2 teams they can't be physical in the trenches with, and Alabama's one of them.
No, because the SEC is completely different this year. They were all like, everyone has the traditional feel of like the old Bama and shit, but like here's the thing is like Bama was giving up at least 20 points a game. Like they're not like the old physical defense you're used to. Neither is Georgia. Like that old like hit you in the fucking mouth like SEC defense. That's not what SEC was this year. That was why the argument towards like why is an SEC team getting in, because the SEC had a losing record against other conferences. That's where I was like, once I saw that, I was like, okay, I understand the Florida State argument, because yeah, outside of the SEC, like they have a losing record against other conferences. So that opened my eyes a little bit. But I mean, like the LSU Bama game, like 42-28, Tennessee game 34-20, Auburn game 27-24, Georgia game 27-24. They gave up 20 points to Texas A&M. Like this is not the old Bama defense. So, and I just don't think people understand how physical Michigan is. Like it's crazy that no matter how much you want to make this game about like high flying offense, Michigan literally forces you. Like if you cannot win at the line of scrimmage, and if you don't hit them in the mouth, if you don't hit them back, you're losing. Like the last 12 games of Ohio State and Michigan, the winner has won the rushing game. And it's like they're gonna play that style, and it wears on you, dude, because then your defense is on the field so long.
I guess I just have PTSD from TCU last year.
Yeah, but that would have been like Florida State making it kind of, even with Jordan Travis, I think a little bit, to be honest.
Okay.
Like I think it would have been the same experience. I mean, TCU did also win a game, which is crazy. Like I know, yeah, they just seem different this year. I don't know.
There's more time to overthink it, I guess. By the way, what a fool I am for betting the overs in these games.
Hey, you know what the other argument is that I actually heard recently, real quick?
Yeah.
Is, you know what people like are saying, like Bama made it in because they're the better team and the 4 best teams make it.
Yeah.
Georgia is one of the 4 best teams.
Oh yeah.
Like, if that's the argument, I'm not sure what side I'm on still, but
Oh, are you still thinking that Bama should have been out and Florida State
Yeah.
should have been in?
yeah.
Oh, I mean,
No, I don't care. I didn't want him in. But I'm
Yeah.
saying the one interesting thing I heard is, if you're going to select the 4 best teams, Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in college football.
so honestly though, probably like if you were to be like objective and like I still think like if you put like a neutral site game, you ran it back, I still think Oregon's like what 4-point favorite over Washington. I mean, Ohio State's probably favorite. They're like what 8 points over
The
Washington.
12-team playoff is going to be
It's going to be
bonkers.
electric. It's going to be electric. I'd love to see. Yeah, just to see like Jaden Daniels, and that would be sick.
And you get the one wild card, like I think who would have made it this year, like Tulane or some shit.
Oh my god, dude!
Liberty, Liberty
Dude,
would have made it in. They're 13-0.
Dude, the Titans are already doing dumb Vrabel shit. God damn it! They were on the Tennessee 7 to
Would you rather be a Giants fan or a Raiders fan?
Giants or Raiders? Giant. It's dude, the whole like not having a home field thing definitely sucks.
I thought about this last time they were in prime time and I wasn't sure.
Daniel Jones or I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I think that by the way, don't you like bet soccer? You have any soccer pits for Saturday? Parlays specifically?
I'll text him. It's too early. I'll text him. It's too early.
Shot. Well, god damn it. These games are going under. Did you hit field goals in these?
Oh, I forgot again.
Dude, I got shook about like there being 2 primetime games, and so I didn't know. Like, I'm like, well, am I really going to throw field goals on both of them? Because if there's 2 primetime games, then there isn't one.
Jordan Love's back. The first 8 weeks of the season.
Fuck.
Missing receivers. Oh my God, Levis.
What just happened?
All-time bad play.
Okay, good.
He just literally threw a screen pass into the defensive end's hands.
Oh God, dude, Tyreek's
defense defense is elite. 7th best in the league, according to our boys at PFF.
Damn. All right. Well, what was there any games we didn't touch on that were? I mean, just Broncos being awesome. As far as lines for this week right now, let me see if there's any. Oh, you just hate to see it, Levis. Sorry, boys.
That's a disaster of a throw.
That is tough. Yeah, Vrabel, you got to get out.
Okay, can the Dolphins? I don't know if it is this game. You are 9-3. Sell out a fucking home game. Good Lord. You're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Sell out a fucking home game. This is fucking Miami is the worst. They're the most overhyped sports town in the country. Remember like the Heat fans used to like that one Ray Allen shot? Yeah. They all were leaving and shit and they wouldn't let him back. Like they are such pansy asses, dude. Like they're the most fraudulent sports town of all time. Like maybe just because Ramsey's playing, like they actually have people now, but it's like, God damn, dude, fuck them. They deserve nothing. As like Chicago deserves the stadium needs a pool.
Stadium does need a pool.
Oh yeah, so we're going to Jacksonville to the pool.
We're getting a pool party going. It's only like 25 grand to have like a cabana at the Jacksonville pool.
That would the view there is top notch.
Like it would be just the best way to take in a game. Like instead of just on some like super hot metal bleachers, like you're in like 80-degree heat and you're just absolutely lukewarm. You've got your hands up on the thing. You've got your cell phone. You've got your vape in the other hand.
And then the pool's like 80 degrees.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Oh
so your
yeah.
balls like
You
aren't
don't
inside
have to hit the
your balls aren't
trough.
inside your stomach.
Yep. You don't have to hit the trough. You can just piss in it. Miami is so fraudulent. They named the arena FTX Arena. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's like crypto.
crypto.com. Dude, by the way, that crypto.com, I think it's now that I have YouTube TV, I'm seeing these ads and like crypto.com or maybe it's Coinbase. One of them has like an ad that gives me so much anxiety. It's like shows like a photo, like a family photo, and it shows like grandpa and it's like went to school, paid off his loans, bought a house, had a family. Then it's like goes to dad and it's like went to school, paid off his loans, I got a job, bought a house, and then it gets to like the people our age and they're like went to school, got in crippling debt, like got a job just to pay off the interest on their loan. I can't afford a house in this market. And it's like Coinbase.
God damn it. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah,
we
dude,
need to get
back to the pool. So what was your idea to have our 10-year high school reunion there?
Oh yeah, dude, because no one's really making any moves on that. And it's like we're 20, we're both 28. Like
it's next year.
Oh, it's next year. And who goes
10
about
years.
making moves on that? And who is going to make moves? And are they going to be good moves?
We're gonna make it at the Jags pool.
Okay, I'm down to do an exclusive at the Jags pool. And if we can't quite pool the money together, maybe we go to the Diamondbacks stadium.
Yeah. I just want my hands on my nuts in an 85-degree pool taking in a Jags game.
Wait, who's Fat Daddy TD? Who is Fat Daddy?
I don't know. Oh, that was just the fat defensive lineman who scored.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. What is the barmy reason for 2 Monday Night Football games? I don't know. Is that like some sort of like UK slang? What in the balmy reason? Yeah, I agree. I mean,
weird. This happens week 1. This happens.
But like if you're the NFL, I'm calling my shot right now. They saw that Saturday, like because they have too much respect for Army Navy. They never put the Saturday games on with Army Navy Day. But once they saw that the NBA tried to steal a little bit of their shine, have a night unto themselves, I bet they just say screw the 2 Monday Night Football games and just throw one on Saturday, eat into those ratings.
Well, also there's less teams on a bye, so they have more flexibility to throw games on a different day. Because I think this is the last week of the buys, and there's only like 3 or 4 teams versus sometimes there's like 6. So they have more flexibility to do some weird shit.
I love field goals already for next Monday night. Jason Myers and Jake Elliott, dude. It's gonna go off.
Dude, the live unders in these games is free.
Oh, dude. Also, the Sunday Night Football over field goals. Justin Tucker and I don't even know who the Jags kicker is, but I'm sure he's not too shitty.
It's in Jacksonville, dude. Good weather. Oh God, the Titans are bad. See, this is what I was saying, dude. This is gonna be a boat race.
I can't. The talk's gonna start though, like about Miami being the defense soon.
Okay, as it should. Like, have you seen the points they've given up recently?
Wait, they've
been winning games by 20 points for a reason. Like,
well, that Raiders game was interesting. How they like that. It was like Tua played like shit, and like they still won. I guess
they gave up 15. These are the last 4 games: 15, 13, 13, 14, 17.
Whoa.
That's as good as it gets in the NFL.
Well, yeah, that's all you can ask in this economy. Even in this economy,
I'd rather die than do is watch the fucking Manning cast.
You don't like the Manning cast?
No.
I kind of still like it for the novelty sometimes.
This might be me deflecting, but Eli makes me uncomfortable because he might remind me of myself, and he makes me a little uncomfortable.
I like Eli because he's got that dry humor that like he'll just like make jokes and stuff and they just fly under the radar and he doesn't like point any attention to it. And it's just he's just so not polished.
I just get a little I just kind of want to crawl out of my skin a little bit sometimes, but like
Dude, what would
I
happen if you threw Eli on the Browns?
I think they'd make the playoffs. Maybe.
Anytime touchdowns on the Vikings got blown up. LOL. Oh, I know. Yeah, what kind of odds can you get on like a no touchdown in the game? Is that like 100 to 1? 80 to 1?
More. That's probably like betting on a safety.
Yeah. Dude, this is the classic Dolphins. Like, all right, the live spread's already to 18.5. It's basically in the bag.
My dog's barking.
My dog's barking. Ah, dude. Come on, Jordan. Jordan Lerv. Dude, you're just the Eli / Flacco of this podcast.
That's all right. Being compared to 2 NFL QBs.
2 ledges. I love that PFT thing. Like, it is so true. The like Joe Flacco circular logic. Like, no matter what, it goes to Trent Dilfer.
I love the clip of what's that guy's name? Strav.
Oh, dude, I know. I love
it. There's just something about Flacco, man. Pocket passer. Yeah, and then Lamar's like, he's just talking about, because he's talking about white trash Baltimore. It's like, yeah, pocket passer, something like Lamar. We got a running back playing at QB.
Dude, this is a great Kevin Clark tweet. Now we're at the point of the show where I'm reading tweets off my Twitter feed. Every other sport is absolutely desperate to generate stars, and the NFL is like, the Giants have an Italian guy, and it's a national story. I love this sport. I love this country. It is so true. Oh, man. Damn. All right. Well, I'm pretty down to just call her so we can sweat out these terrible games.
Yeah. I'll call you at halftime to see if we like anything.
Yeah, it's a big live betting one. All right.
Yeah.
Later, everyone. Thanks for hanging.
Peace.